Orioles and the city of Baltimore honored their former skipper Earl Weaver. Players, coaches, fans all gathered around Legends Park at Camden Yards to remember the manager and the man for what he gave to this great city and to this organization. Yesterday they honored him, but they could not come away with a win. Today for Earl, how about a W? And how about the new man in the lineup? Jim Thome has arrived. He is the designated hitter, probably for the rest of the season, and certainly for today. Game 4, Indians-Orioles is next. It's the Orioles on Masson, and Camden Yards is the site on a summer Sunday. It's the Indians and the Orioles wrapping up the four-game set. The Orioles have a chance to make it an even Steven 2-2 as far as this four-game series is concerned, but they got to get one today. For the Orioles, it is the head of a homestand. They'll be heading out to the West Coast after the ball game. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. And for the O's, major changes continue to take place. For Buck Showalter, it has been a season where managing is required every day because every day the roster seemingly looks different. The addition today, future Hall of Famer Jim Thome. He is here, met with the press before the ball game. There are the numbers for the newest acquisition. 277 average, those 609 home runs among the all-time leaders. This season, not many at-bats. He was playing with Philadelphia, no DH, of course, so he didn't get the opportunity to play much. That's why he is happy to be here. The Orioles gave up a couple of youngsters, and the roster move that had to be made today, Tommy Hunter, has been sent down. The 3 and 4 mark, simply not effective. So he has been optioned out to Norfolk to try and get things together. The Orioles will get some help in the bullpen. Miguel Gonzalez has been called up, and Xavier Avery, the only other outfielder besides Adam Jones, is on the roster. He is gone. Gonzalez is up. The Orioles hope that they will not need him early today, but if they do, Jim Palmer, he is there. So another day and another new look roster.
Well, you're trying to get back on track. Again, they had a winning April, winning May. They're 13-13 in June, and here we're starting a new month, and you're not really playing well. You're not pitching. You're not hitting. Scored a couple of runs. So bottom line is, how do we get a little bit better? And make some changes. Gonzalez, they know he can pitch. He's going to help their bullpen. He can also start. So we'll see how this all plays out. And Thome, one of the great guys. And I'll tell you what, on base percentage, he's going to help that, and he's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
All right, the Orioles may need to do that. Cleveland right now is a red-hot hitting team. And for Brian Mattis, that is going to be a real challenge as the lefty needs a good start, maybe to save his spot. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. It is another hot summer day as the East Coast and Mid-America continues to suffer through some very high record temperatures. We'll start at 96 degrees in this one, our train game time temperature. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It is hard to stop a train. Dodge brings you the starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians, a game above 500 right now. Chu, Cabrera, Kipnis, Lopez, Duncan, and Kochman. Jason Donald, call up yesterday, gets a start. Marson and Cunningham. For Marson, give me a chance. Well, they did, and look at the numbers. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
And our scouting report on Brian Mattis. Well, roller coaster ride. Not very good in April. Was real good in the month of May, 4-2, and then he's got a 4-game losing streak here actually in June. So he starts July. Give him hope. Just go out there, give him 6 innings, 2-3 runs. Maybe you get some runs, haven't been getting, and then relax and compete. And the reason I put relax in there because he's well aware of what happened to Tommy Hunter. Starter, had a chance yesterday to come in, keep the club in the ball club. Gave up, or in the game, gave up 5 runs, 8 hits in an inning. So go out there and, like I told him before the game, just go out and have a good time, relax, pitch.
Chu is up, and the pitch will be taken for a ball, and we are underway on this Sunday afternoon, our day game. Little breeze blowing out towards left field. Few high overcast clouds. There'll be some thunder bumpers around later on today, almost certainly. Here's the 1-0 pitch by Mattis, outside 2-0. Chu has been absolutely on fire. Do not touch, you will get burned. He is 8 for 13, 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in this series. He has raised his average to 291. 34 walks, 24 doubles, and the pitch will be taken on the inside corner for a strike. He'll be one of the few left-handers in the lineup against Mattis since they hit only 175 against him.
Yeah, unfortunately, only of those, that's only 80 at bats, 339 by the right-handers. And again, he's been hitting everything. He's hit a couple of home runs the other way. Quick enough on the ball in the inside middle to pull it.
What a month. Hitting only .211 against lefties, .330 against right-handers for Chu. And Mattis walks the first batter he faces, and that is not the way to start with this Cleveland team. This is how they have ignited 3 of the 4 games here in this series.
Well, Earl Weaver statue day yesterday, the unveiling, and again, the one thing that Earl used to be annoyed, not physical errors, they happen, but when you walk guys, it doesn't matter what kind of defense you have. We'll get to that in a second, but he would go nuts, crazy.
Here is Cabrera, the switch hitter, gets to be the designated hitter in this ball game. It's only the second time he has been a DH this season. He has had 67 starts at shortstop and now 2 as a DH. You see the numbers he's put up. I mean, if these players increase their batting averages in this series, it's been really phenomenal. And Cabrera is one of those. He's gone 7 for 16 in this series with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. He, like Chu, has a 5-game hit streak going with the numbers way up there. Chu with good speed at first base. Breaking ball is going to be taken down low. Brian Mattis falls behind on Cabrera. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, Rick Adair, the Oriole pitching coach, his whole premise is, okay, what's your windup? Do you have balance? Do you have posture? Do you have rhythm? And can you control your fastball? Everything works off with that. So even when you're in the first inning and you don't know if you're going to have a good curveball, changeup, or slider, you can still throw your fastball for strikes.
Cabrera fouls that one away, and the count will go to 2-2. Brian Mattis has had good luck against Cleveland in limited opportunities. 2 prior starts, 1-0 and a .64 ERA. Here at his home ballpark this season, 7 starts, 2-4, and a 5.2 earned run average here at Camden Yards. And that ball is going to be towards center. Jones is over, reaching out. He's got it. Sinking line drive.
Yeah, now take a look at the Oriole defense. Couple errors yesterday. 69 on the year, most in the major leagues. It seems like it's changing, or at least they're changing the positions every day. Flaherty, Jones, Davis. That's the outfield. Andino, who can pick it over at third. Hardy, Roberts, Betamete, all over the place, but at first. And then Matt Wieters getting the afternoon off. Ronnie Paulino doing the catching.
We will update you on the All-Star voting as soon as we know the results. Those All-Star teams being announced today, including not only the starters but the other roster players. Here's Jason Kipnis. After today, there'll be only one All-Star for each side left. Those will be voted out of the 5 that are selected in the final group that fans get to vote on for one last All-Star member of the roster. Kipnis, E2 has had a big series, 3 for 12, no home runs, 3 RBIs for him. Kipnis, another lefty in this lineup. He hits .227 against lefties, .303 against righties. I mean, even these good so-called left-handed batters against lefties do not have particularly good numbers, which is why Cleveland has struggled against them. 7-16 against left-handed starters.
And again, they came in at 5-16. I think the one number they do walk. They didn't have a great June, but they went into June with the most walks in the American League. And Manny Adams said that we just had a bad month as far as having quality at bats, but you would never know it from this series.
No. Well, you look, they had a 5-game losing streak coming in. They had been outscored in that losing streak 33-11. In the 3 games in this series, they've outscored the Orioles 26-16 and have set consecutive game highs in hits in the last 2 games. They had 16 day before yesterday and 19 yesterday. That'll be fouled off. It's a fair ball. There's one. The relay. What a break right there. Kipnis turned to the umpire. Rob Drake immediately signaled fair ball, and Ronnie Paulino jumped on it, and the Orioles get a double play. Only 3 faced by Mattis. Key defensive play early in the ball game. Take a look at the O's lineup coming up. Airlines for the Orioles today, and of course Thome is going to be in it. Roberts, Hardy, and Davis, Jones, Thome, and Betamete, Flaherty, Paulino, and Andino. Jim Thome, his career numbers with the Indians, where he had some great years.
I'll tell you, no problem for him in June. Record at 2-3, but the ERA 2.05, dominates righties. They're only hitting 210, and against the Orioles 2-0 last year. And the one thing he does, and why he dominates righties, he gets everybody to hit the ball on the ground more than 2-1. Maybe not quite as high as Derek Lowe, who pitched the other night, but he can get the grounder.
Masterson. Be tough to go against the way he's pitching right now, although the overall numbers aren't that good. As Jim said, that 2.06 in June for an ERA is pretty darn good. Brian Roberts will foul that one away down the line. Roberts, leading it off, has had a 1 for 10 in this series. He has faced Masterson 14 times before and has picked up 5 hit against him. Not a good June. Career 286 hitter in June, but bear in mind for Brian Roberts, June was his first month, so he's still getting into playing shape here, but boy, the Orioles really need that to come around to fire up the offense in that leadoff spot. Masterson, the lefties, much better than the right-handers. Total of 7 home runs. He gets 73% of leadoff batters out. Real good number. And he's going to get one right here. Kochman at first base, and Roberts is retired.
Yeah, he can throw hard, too. And take a look at the defense behind him. So Duncan more for his bat. Cunningham, we've seen him in left for defense. Crowley's going to get the afternoon off. Chu and right. Lopez, Donald, Kipnis, Kochman, who he made the error the other night, but boy, he can pick it over there. And then Lou Marson, we usually think is a catch and throw guy, but he's a catch, throw, and hit guy. Great series.
And here is Hardy, who will take the pitch away for a ball. Hardy with a 3-for-10 lifetime off the former Red Sox right-hander Justin Masterson, 27 years old. 1-0 delivery. Hardy will watch that one away. 2-0. J.J. Hardy overall on the season. Numbers have dropped down to 236 now, and again because of June. So he had a tough one. Ball put up in the air to right field. Shoot. Bless you.
Yeah.
2 down. That'll bring up Chris Davis. Chris Davis looks like he's got the bat going in the last 4 with that 5 for 15, including 4 RBIs and a home run as he launched one out onto Utah Street the other night. You see June for Davis at 205. The average not particularly different than what he's having in his career in June. Certainly different than the way he was playing earlier.
Yeah, this will be a whole different ball game today because Masterson throws a lot harder than Josh Tomlin. Josh was talking about that changeup. He said it was a horrible pitch. Chris liked it and launched it. So he's going to. And Scott Radinsky, the pitching coach for the Indians, said he'll pitch at 92, 93, but he can get to 95, 96, and we've already seen that. And he's got that little breaking ball and a changeup.
Got a 2-strike count here on Davis, and that's that. So he gets the strikeout. 80 strikeouts in 104 innings now for Masterson. Side retired in order, 1 complete. Double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Here at the ballpark, the Orioles concluding this homestand in which they have gone 3-5. And looking to get one here which would at least even up this series against the Indians as the Orioles come in 5 games behind the Yankees on this first day of July. Yankees on top by 5. Chicago White Sox leading the Indians by 2.5, and the Rangers 6.5 ahead of the Angels. Rangers have won 5 in a row. The Nationals lead the National League East by 2.5 over the Mets. Cincinnati's a game up on Pittsburgh, 3.5 on the Cardinals, and the Giants lead the Dodgers by 1 and Arizona by 4 in the West. You start to get to a point in the season where historically on July 1 teams that are in playoff position tend to stay there. That ball down the line is going to be foul as Lopez got into it. Lopez, Duncan, and Kochman will be due up for the Indians. One of the many big hit days yesterday. Lopez 6 for 9 in this series. He's had 3 RBIs. Had the 5-hit ball game yesterday, career high. 0-2 delivery to him, and he went around, and Brian Mattis will get the strikeout.
Well, again, I mean, we've already seen more velocity, and this is about as good a curveball. His stuff against the Angels, I don't know if it was the 9 right-handers or whatever, but this is a hook. You get on top of it, you finish it, you get ahead. Now, he did get 5 hits, 3 in the infield. But again, that's the major league curveball. That's why he got $3.2 million. Best curveball and changeup in the draft.
Nissan Pitch Track, close a great deal, and your new Nissan. Hurry, the door to your opportunity closes July 2nd. Shelley Duncan will foul it away. Well, for Brian Mattis, getting that first out and that first strike really mattered. Leadoff batters have hit .338 against him in an inning this year. He's retired only 60% of leadoff batters. That's not good. And if he gets ahead in the count, the average is .231 after that. If he falls behind 1-0, the average jumps to .368.
Yeah, I looked at that and going, is that an impetus to try to throw strike one?
Yep. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that will be taken inside by Duncan.
But we've just seen, I mean, he's getting over his front side. He's got 3 miles per more velocity. And again, we've seen also that doesn't make a whole lot of difference if you end up in the middle of the plate, but it's a lot easier to have movement when you're able to get over your front side and throw the ball downhill.
That ball hit in the air to left center field pretty well. Flaherty going back, looking up, and goodbye home run. Duncan is in there for the power bat. Duncan delivers the homer, his second home run in this series. And a 1-0 lead for the Indians on the season for Duncan. That's number 6.
Yeah, he got a meatball, a hanging slider from Tommy Hunter yesterday. And that's the ball that kind of hovered and stopped. This time it's a fastball. You can see the target, and he misses. It's a bad feeling because in this ballpark, if you hit it that hard, it's gone. But again, that's about a foot from the target.
Kochman up high for Brian Mattis. That's the 13th home run that he has surrendered. And 11 of those have been hit by right-handers, only 2 by lefties. Kochman at .224 coming in. He's only had a couple of hits and 12 at-bats in the series, but has had at least 3 spectacular plays at first base that have really helped them defensively. And a 1-1 count. So the home run ball being used by the Indians again. They certainly have had that show up in this series. Chu with a couple. Cabrera's got a couple. 2 now by Duncan in the series. And that is a strike taken. 1-2 on Kochman.
Well, we talked about the fact that they've scored 7, 8, and 11 runs. This is the last game of a 9-day road trip. First 6 games they hit 2 home runs. And the last 3 games they've hit 6. Now make it 7.
And the 1-2 delivery on the way is fouled off. The Indians coming into this ball game home run wise are ranked 12th in the 14-team American League. The Orioles are 4th in homers. We mentioned the Indians are about on base percentage 5th, slugging 11th. So they have to get people on, move them around, get a lot of hits in order to score. Shelley Duncan, you see on the bench there, one of their long ball hitters. Popped up behind the mound. Brian Mattis has no idea where it is. Brian Roberts does, and he'll put it away, and Kochman is retired. Our Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant of the game, Veronica Long from Leonardtown. Veronica, you've won $500 for being selected, and you get $100 more from the Maryland Lottery for every strikeout recorded by an Oriole pitcher. See how you can turn non-winning Strike It Rich scratch-offs into cash and enter to win great prizes. Go to mdlottery.com/strikeitrich. And our thoughts go out to all of those in the area who continue to suffer from a power loss. That storm was really serious, and in this kind of weather, not to have power is bad enough, but not to have it when you got 100-degree days day after day and 80-plus degree nights is really tough. So we hope folks get things back together soon. That'll go in the gap in right center field. Jones will have to chase it down. Donald's on his way to second base. Jason Donald, and he's got a double. Donald just called up yesterday is a shortstop. He's been up twice for the ball club. So he gets his first start on his return to the Indians, and he kicks it off with a 2-bagger.
Yeah, just a fastball up out over the plate. Duncan hit a fastball up out over the plate for the home run.
He came up for Chisenhall, who suffered that broken ulnar bone in his arm when he was hit by a pitch 2 games ago. So Donald's going to get a chance. That'll be hit number 2. 2 down. Here's Lou Marson.
Yeah, both of these guys came over in 2009 out of Philadelphia for Cliff Lee. As the Indians lose back-to-back Cy Young Award winners, Sabathia. He goes to Milwaukee, to Laporta. And then the Lee, you get a catcher and you get a utility, or they thought was going to be a starting second baseman.
And Mattis will get it in on the outside corner. Lou Marson is a backup catcher, but you wouldn't know it in this series. With Carlos Santana injured, and he was supposed to start yesterday, didn't. Today isn't. So that back and side rib problem he's got, obviously a little more serious than the Indians thought. But Marson's got a 4-game hit streak and 6 for 12 in this series. 1-1 delivery, and that pitch will be taken up high. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Now, Brian's done a better job this year, at least in the fact that he's been able to get more ground balls than fly balls. Normally a fly ball pitcher, but he's a guy that needs to start around the knees, and once he's established there, and then you go in, not the other way.
Runner off second, the 2-1 delivery, and that's going to be their first strike as well. Questioned by Marson, who turns to Rob Drake, the umpire.
Well, that's about as good a curveball as you can throw. Good finish, good break, good location.
Brian Mattis at home has gone 2-4. ERA of 5.2. Not much difference on the road. 3-5. ERA of 5.27. Almost exactly the same. And the breaking ball hung, and it's fouled away. Brian Mattis has not won a ball game in a while. He's had 4 consecutive losses. Won a game at Tampa Bay on June 2nd. That was the last one. His last outing against the Angels, 5 runs, 13 hits in 5 innings, a career high in hits allowed with those 13. So trying to rebound off that today against the Indians. 2-2 delivery, and that's going to go to short. Hardy's got it. And Marson is retired. A run on the home run by Duncan. A runner left on. The Indians on top. Well, congratulations to the Orioles All-Stars, those who are going to go to Kansas City, selected on the player manager ballots. The closer, Jim Johnson, the center fielder, Adam Jones, and the catcher, Matt Wieters. They are the 3 Orioles we know are going to go to the All-Star game as a result of the vote, really, of the players. And that's as much of an honor as it is to have voted by the fans, even though they're not starters. Now, the Orioles could have 4 because Jason Hamill is one of the 5 players for that final selection. It'll be voted on by the fans. There you see the numbers with the 8-3 mark. Fans get one more chance. You can vote unlimited number of times at Orioles.com. You have through Thursday to cast the ballot. Thursday at 4 will be the deadline. The fans select the final roster players in both leagues, and Jason Hamill's one of 5 on that list in the American League. Adam Jones to second base. Spinner handled by Kipnis, and Jones is retired. Let's listen. Here's Jim Thome.
And making his Orioles debut, the designated hitter, number 25, Jim Thome.
Thome with a big cut on the first pitch. Designated hitter coming over from Philadelphia in the deal announced yesterday. 41 years old. 8th player to reach the 600 home run mark. And Thome brings a consistency now to the DH role. He is the 9th designated hitter used this year. And it is somewhat ironic that, of course, he would be coming up against the Cleveland Indians, a team which he played for so long and had so much success, including a brief part of last year when he played 22 games going back with the Indians. 0-2 delivery. Thome off Masterson. Rose to Kochman, and Masterson all right to get over to the mound to record the out. Ouch.
A nice adjustment by Jim just to get to the fastball, and of course he's a center of the field hitter with power. I mean, again, the 609 home runs, and this ball goes to the right guy, and then Masterson are able to get over there.
So Jim Thome's got his first at bat as an Oriole, and back in the role that at this point of his career he really likes, and that's the DH role. Keeps him in the ball game, something he could not do in Philadelphia, of course, with no DH in the National League. And a swing and a miss by Benamit. Benamit with a 10-game hit streak. He's had 5 hits and 11 at bats in this series. Just torrid in June. Big numbers in all of those categories, with that .382 average leading the way. And that is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Benamit is 2 for 9 lifetime off Justin Masterson, the Cleveland starter. 1-1 will be tapped foul right at the plate, and it goes to 1-2.
Well, Gary, you talked about the fact that he did come up with the Red Sox, and a starter in the minor leagues, and then when he came to the big leagues, he'd be one of those spot starters, and every time he seemed to pitch, he'd pitch deep into the game and throw a lot of ground balls.
And he's on right now. He got Benamit to chase one. That'll be the second strikeout. He's retired the first 6 batters faced. Indians have a 1-0 lead. Antwerp and Auto. When Jack says yes, you pay less at Antwerp and Hyundai, Nissan, Toyota at Howard County Auto Park. Visit JackSaysYes.com today. by Acura Advance, and by Hyundai. New Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. And in this booth, Gary Thornton Palmer here at Camden Yards today. Good crowd on hand for this Sunday. There's Jim Thome. They've seen him make his debut as the Orioles get a new designated hitter and a new veteran leader. Historically has been that for the teams he's played for. Brian Mattis will go against Aaron Cunningham, the number 9 hitter. Cunningham, who came in 0 for 12, is no longer 0 for. Goodbye home run. The second home run of the ball game off Mattis, and the first hit in this series for Aaron Cunningham. And it is 2-0 Indians.
Yeah, he usually comes in when they have the lead. Today he helps give them the lead. Belt high fastball, so all the hits, no big mystery. And Brian, who gave up 13 hits in his last time, it's just a fastball. He's a low ball pitcher trying to pitch up in the zone, or that's where it ends up, and that's just not a good combination here. You don't have to hit it that far. Hits it what, 375, 364 to the power alley. Don't even have to hit it that far, but just got to make better pitches.
Cunningham's first home run of the year in his Chew. Cunningham now has 7 major league home runs. And there he is, Aaron Cunningham, the defensive replacement player, as Jim said. And it is 2-0. And Chew will take it up high for a ball. Chew drew a walk his first time up. The Indians are pounding it out over the last 5 games. They're hitting over 300. They're averaging 7 runs a game over the last 5. Chew will go into that shift where Roberts is playing at second base and record the out, 1 down. The Birds return to Oriole Park after the All-Star break. It'll be on Friday, July 13. The Tigers in town. First 15,000 fans, 15 and over that Friday, will get a Matt Wieters orange Orioles replica jersey. Don't miss the great opportunity to add to the Birdland wardrobe. Get your tickets, 888-848-BIRD, to go to Orioles.com. Detroit Tigers will be trying to mount a second half surge after a rather disappointing first half, but they're only 4 games out. They are 2 games below 500, though.
That's the good news. The bad news is even Verlander, last year's MVP, Cy Young, pitching pretty well. They don't play very well behind him. And he's, of course, last year he went 14-1 against the American League Central.
1-0 delivery, and there's one put up in the air in the yard. Flaherty is there.
And you just don't really want to pitch where Brian Mattis is pitching. And if you're sitting home, you go, wow, Palmer's saying he's got to get the ball down. Well, it's the big leagues. You got to get the ball down. And how do you do that? There's a feel to it. I was a high ball pitcher, but if I was too high, every ball down below the knees in your side sessions, shorten your stride a tad to feel like you're able to. Jim Johnson was talking about it. When his head stays up, the ball goes down. So you have little nuances, that those checkpoints. Otherwise, it's hard to pitch. And the stuff is all right. It's just the command. Hunter throwing 95, 96. 8 hits in an inning. Why? Because of the command. There's as good a curveball as you can throw. So you just have to be able to command your stuff. This is the big leagues.
Kipnis with an 0-2 count, 2 down, nobody on after the leadoff homer by Cunningham. And it was funny on Cabrera's fly ball. Adam Jones in center field took 1 step and stopped and then stared over at Flaherty and didn't want to get anywhere near him, as they have had a couple of near collisions and misplays in the outfield when Flaherty was in right. So Adam Jones now was kind of smiling at him and talked to him afterwards. That's all yours. I'm not even remotely near it. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And Kipnis will foul that one away.
Well, we've
July
seen Flaherty,
1.
Yeah, well, if we've seen Flaherty in one series, he played right, he's played third, he's played left.
That's hard. It's pro. They're great athletes and pro players, but that's still hard. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. Jones. This one is his. And he's got it. But a leadoff homer by Aaron Cunningham, his first of the year. Second home run of the ball game. Duncan has the other, and the Indians have the 2-0 lead. Monthly, you see the records. Good. Batting average has dipped. Home runs, particularly down from May. Runs per game, really down from May. The starter ERA has gone up. And the pitch will be taken for a strike by Flaherty. And as the relievers have had to pitch more, the ERA for them has also gone up. So all of the numbers trending to that 13-13 June, and just showing how good a month May was for the Orioles.
Right, and then again, you have to go back and you say, well, okay, if we still keep hitting home runs, but this is a game of adjustment, we'll score runs. But again, the defense has not been good in any of the months. Haven't had team speed, the ability to steal bases in any months. Runner in scoring position pretty good in April and May, but not good the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually. You don't like the way it's trending, though.
No,
I'll tell you that. And
no, especially the starter part of it, which is they've gone back to being out of ball games early, forcing the offense to simply have to deliver too many runs. None more so than what's happened in this series.
But they can be better. I mean, they really can, but it's up to them. And I mean, that's the great challenge about being here. I mean, I look at Brian Mattis today. He's throwing 92 to 93. You know, Chen, we just saw him. He's pitched well. So he has a little trouble in hot weather. Well, welcome to Baltimore. So you have to make that adjustment. But again, I look at Brian. Hey, 2 runs, big deal. Hold him there. Make some better pitches. Stuff's good today.
Yep. Masterson, the 1-2 delivery, and has swung out and missed. That is the 3rd strikeout, 2 in a row by Justin Masterson.
And not too many breaking balls. Here's number 1. And why? Number 1, he got ahead. Number 2, for Ryan Flaherty, he came in 3 for 9, all on fastballs. And that's the book. Young hitter, first year in the big leagues, hits the fastball pretty good. Change speeds.
And a strike on the inside corner. Ronnie Paulino getting a start behind the plate, his 8th start of the season, hitting at .259. And the pitch is taken inside. Paulino, of course, with the limited opportunities, once in a while gets a pinch hitting role. Otherwise, just in when Matt Wieters gets his day off. Grounded down to 3rd. Lopez had to back up on it. Plenty of time, though, to make the throw. And there are 2 away. The start time for the Saturday, July 14 game against the Tigers moved from 7:05 to 4:05 for the national broadcast. The July 14 game is the unveiling of Jim's sculpture as part of the Orioles Legend celebration. The ceremonies will begin at 2:15. Gates will open at 2. That's for Saturday, July 14, Jim Palmer's Day, with the sculpture being unveiled. Get your tickets 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com.
Looking forward to it.
Indeed.
A little toasty, though, yesterday.
Yes. But credit Earl. We're sitting up here in our polo shirts because it's so hot. He spent the entire day in coat and tie. That's my kind of man.
You know what that goes back to? That's when Reggie joined the club. We used to have a coat and tie rule. If you want to get on the charter, you had to have a coat and tie. Reggie tries to get on without a tie.
Yep.
He goes, you're going to have to get your own flight to Chicago.
See you later.
Or put a tie on. And Reggie put a tie on.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Andino. Robert Andino has had only a couple of at-bats in this series. He has gone 0 for 2. And the pitch is up high. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, they really kind of what we call bunch him in the infield. Kochman way off the line. Everybody kind of giving him the lines, trying to take away the holes.
Tough month for Andino, coming out of the starting role with the return of Brian Roberts. Hit only 167 in the month of June, 9 for 54. So dropped the average down to 234 at the moment. 2 down, nobody on. Andino off the end of the bad fouls at bat.
Well, there's ball 4. And again, when you have a month like he had in May, because he really showed everybody he can, at least in 2011, can play in the big leagues every day, because he had to because of the Roberts injury. But 37 strikeouts in May. It's too many for a guy that doesn't hit a lot of long balls.
Broken bat. Lopez on the backhand. Ooh. Good throw. Big arm. Wow. So 9 in a row retired by Masterson, and on the 2 home runs, the Indians have the lead. Your own this summer. Book your vacation at OCOcean.com. 1957. Jim Palmer will remember. Orioles pitcher George Zvanek and catcher Frank Zuppo became the first Z battery in Major League Baseball history. And in 91, the Orioles and Angels tied a Major League record with 11 home runs in a game, and you will remember that one.
Well, I will, but I'm glad I had retired by then because I could have participated. But the thing about George Zvanek, when I signed, I took some of my signing bonus, my $40,000 signing bonus, and actually bought a paid-up life insurance, which I used for my first house. And George sold me the life insurance policy. So
really?
Thank you, Big Z.
I like that.
Yeah.
Here's Jose Lopez.
Well, one of the better investments I ever made. And there's a good changeup. Yeah, I look at Brian Madison. When I look at him, obviously, he doesn't throw as hard as Randy Johnson. But when Randy Johnson was struggling, Tom House, who was a pitching coach for Nolan Ryan, they're throwing. And
that ball hit in the air to left field. Flaherty going back on the warning track, reaching up, can't get it. That'll take a hop. Jones has got it, and going into second base with the double is Lopez, his 7th hit of this series.
Yeah, 5 yesterday, 3 infield hits, but this ball should have been caught. Ryan Flaherty, he takes the route where he goes across and then back. Doesn't play a lot of outfield, different spin, and the ball is smoked. But watch him come across, and now you can see him going back. If he took a direct line, again, you play a lot of outfield, you learn to do that. That's what the good ones do.
So another runner in scoring position and another leadoff man on. That's 3 out of 4 innings.
And that would have erased, again, a high fastball in the middle of the plate, which is what is getting Brian Madison into problems. But my point was what Tom House told Randy Johnson, hey, start on your toe and end on your toe.
Down to third. That is a foul ball. Nice play made by Andino, and he had to because that might have been called over the bag.
And after Randy Johnson was able to do that, take a look right here, this ball just foul. But again, when he started doing that, he had better balance. And again, you take your ability. So when I look at Brian, I see the fact that when he lands, he's not really balanced with his front side. Toe to toe. That's what they talk about. Watch him go right.
Shelley Duncan will foul that one back, trying for another long ball right there.
And especially, there's a hanging curveball, especially on his fastball. And it's almost like he feels that he has to really overthrow his fastball to maybe get to 92. I'd like to show him a film of Frank Tanana, who threw 95 when he came up, hurt his arm, could get you out at 83 at the end of his career, and was so smooth.
0-2 delivery to Duncan. Breaking ball will miss. Runner on at second base, Lopez, who picked up the 2-bagger. And the Indians now with 4 hits in the ball game. Duncan's got a 5-game hit streak as a result of the home run that he put up on the board. He will foul that one back into the screen, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, well, his job, and it's a little bit harder with 2 strikes, to hit the ball the right side. Already a home run yesterday, home run today. But what they've done so well, and again, they've scored 26 runs in 3 games, now make it to 28 runs, is they've hit the ball where they have. It's good situational hitting, use the whole field.
That's going to skip and go down the line into left field. That's going to get another run in. Lopez will score. Duncan has his 2nd hit of the day, his 2nd RBI, and a 3-0 lead for the Indians.
Well, that ball was smoked. Used to be a saying, when you're pitching poorly, get the women and children off the infield. Short hop, hit hard. And I would imagine they'd score that a hit. I mean, again, the Flaherty ball could have been caught. I suppose that could have been, but Brooks Robbins retired. I mean, that's a tough play.
Brian Mattis has given up 3 runs on 5 hits. And Kochman coming up, nobody out. Kochman popped up his first time up. The Orioles, Buck Showalter said before the game today, I really don't have a long reliever. That one in the air to right center. That is way back and off the base of the wall. Here comes Duncan, and it's a doubles game now. 3 consecutive doubles here in the 4th inning as Kochman just missed a homer. He gets an RBI, and it's 4-0.
Yeah, it's like the customer that walks into the bar. Give me a couple of doubles. 2 might work, but 3, Watch again. Kind of belt high, middle of the plate. The inability to get the ball out of the middle of the plate for Brian, and boy, they're the happiest hitting team in baseball because they got to come to Baltimore, and the Orioles are just not executing good pitches, and they're making him pay for it.
Kochman gets his 28th RBI. Rick Adair will head out to the mound. And our Kia Pitch Tracks brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. So the Orioles made the roster change today to get Miguel Gonzalez to the major leagues just for what's happening right now. They will use him as the long man today. He has started ball games. And Brian Mattis, the struggle continues. And a 4-0 lead, 4 runs on 6 hits, nobody out, runner at second base. And here is Jason Donald. Donald getting the start at short, delivered a double his first time up. So this non-power hitting Indians team in this game has had 2 home runs and 4 doubles. 1-0 count on Donald.
Well, I was always taught, there's a little changeup. He's trying to change speeds. I was always taught, and the Orioles were always taught, the hitters tell you how you're going. So when you're backing up and you're every time you throw a ball up in the zone, they're whacking it. It tells you, I mean, you have to go pretty much do what Davey Johnson, who was now managing the Nationals, used to say. Remember the variable chance deviation? You're throwing it for the corner and it's going to the middle. Throw it for the middle because it's not going where you want anyway. Maybe it'll go to the corner. And I know that sounds corny, but Davey used to do that.
That's right.
I mean, we'd be struggling. He'd come in, and I guess that was his way of trying to encourage us. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but neither was what we were trying to do.
And he walked him on 4 straight pitches.
Well, he just can't, for whatever the reason is, cannot get the ball down in the zone other than with his breaking ball, and it's been very good.
So Brian Mattis, you see the first 2 career starts, certainly nothing like what you're seeing here in this ball game. The Indians up 4-0. 4 have come up. All have reached. 2 have scored. And here's Lou Marson, the catcher, who grounded out his first time up. The Orioles starters coming into this ball game over the last 5 games have an ERA of 11.8. They have pitched 22 innings, given up 29 runs on 41 hits in the last 5 games, the starters. And this is not helping. Lou Marson. And Marson will take a breaking ball in the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, you would think that maybe, just maybe, they might try to move the runner along, maybe with a bunt.
2 on, nobody out. Marson with Cunningham waiting on deck.
Of course, he almost hit for the cycle, so.
And that'll get away. They won't have to worry about it, at least the third. Runner from first took a look, didn't go. Donald, but Kochman saw it. He'll move over to third base, and that one got away from Paulino.
Yeah, he just misses it. It's not in the dirt, just off the glove. And then he'll throw the ball back to Madison, so will the umpire.
So they exchange baseballs out there, and right now, I mean, really, you're watching this ball game. You're waiting for somebody to come into the ballpark, line the Orioles up, and give them a swift kick in the backside. Because this game is being played that way right now. Lou Marson, 2 down. Runners on at first and third. Kochman moves to third base on the pass ball. Donald's still over there at first. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that ball's put in the air to right center field. Davis will come over and drops the ball. They got a force out, though, at second base. It will be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Marson. The ball gets dropped, but they get an out, so there isn't any error, and the fans are starting to let it loose, and no wonder.
Well, you have a first baseman, third baseman, DH playing right field, and injuries. You know, go back to spring training. The Orioles only had about 4 guys on their 40-man roster that were outfielders. So Raimel gets hurt. Avery's been up and down. I'm not even sure if he was on the roster in spring training, but So all of a sudden you have guys playing out of position. You have pitchers that aren't making their pitches. And then it's getting ugly. And it always does if you don't pitch well.
Yep.
And then if you don't defense well behind it, you can't pitch well. And we've seen that. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the pitchers, but we've had fly balls. We've had balls off gloves. We've had double plays not turned. I mean, all in 4 games. And the Indians are taking advantage of it.
And a 2-strike count on Cunningham, who delivered his first home run of the year, his first time up. So Marson picks up the RBI. That's his 5th one in this series. He's on at first base. Fielder's choice on the play, getting the out at second, as Donald, of course, saw the ball being caught and headed back to first and could not get down to second. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Cunningham as the slider misses outside. 66 pitches thrown so far by Mattis on this very steamy Sunday afternoon.
Oh, it's pretty normal. Yeah, it's hot, but this is Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, this the way it's going to be.
And a lot of other places right now.
Oh, exactly. Well, that's why you do your work outside. You get in shape. You prepare yourself, and that's not only your breathing and your cardiovascular, but can I grip the ball?
Chance for a double play. It shoots away. A strikeout recorded as Cunningham becomes the second strikeout for Mattis and a stolen base for Marson.
So if Ronnie Paulino is able to make a good throw, it's a double play. This is how they ended last Sunday's game when Wieters, who's won a Gold Glove, but he bounces it. So instead of getting off the field, and you want to do that, they've already scored 3 runs. It seems like they do that a couple of times every game. All of a sudden, now they have a chance to put the 6th run on the board. Just the little things. You won't see it in the line score or the box score tomorrow, but it should have been an out.
Now 2 away. Leadoff batter Chu. Chu has walked and grounded out. Chu with his 5-game hit streak. He's got a couple of hits lifetime and 7 at bats against Brian Mattis. Runner at second base and 2 away. Chu takes it. It's on the inside corner, and Mattis gets ahead again 0-2. So Brian Mattis may be getting just mad enough to start throwing strikes.
Well, he's throwing strikes, it's just in the wrong areas.
Here's the 0-2.
Yep.
That'll go to Brian Roberts at second base. He'll make the play over to first, and that will retire Chu. But it is a 3-run 4th inning for the Indians, and they extend their lead to 5-0. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by AT&T 4G LTE with speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G. AT&T, rethink possible. By Chevy Cruze, offering the best highway mileage of any gas engine in America. And by Hyundai. New Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. So the Orioles need some offense as they trail in this one now 5-0. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Indians. No runs, no hits 9 in a row retired by Justin Masterson against the Orioles. Brian Roberts popped out his first time up. Orioles with a 3-5 on the homestand so far. They've hit only .226 in this homestand. That'll be popped up to shallow right field. Chu. And fortunately for the Indians, he got there because Kipnis, the second baseman, did not know where that was. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the American League in the All-Star game. This selected by the fans. It'll be Napoli, Prince Fielder, Robinson Cano, Derek Jeter, Adrian Beltre, Josh Hamilton, who received a record number of votes, Curtis Granderson, Jose Bautista, and David Ortiz as the designated hitter. There's the starting lineup for the American League for the All-Star game in Kansas City. And Adam Jones finished 4th in voting by the fans as far as outfielders were concerned, and he has been selected in the player manager selections. So has the Orioles catcher Matt Wieters, and so has Jim Johnson, the Orioles closer. 1-1 delivery, and a real tough one for J.J. Hardy. J.J. Hardy's not going to go, but he finished 3rd in fan voting at shortstop behind Jeter and Elvis Andrus of the Rangers. Probably more about what was needed as far as the manager coaches selection.
Well, that was the point I played in 6. 2 of the 3 years I won the Cy Young didn't even make the All-Star team because you don't, a lot of times they're trying to add players and so on. But to me, to me, it's a great roster. They even have Mike Trout on it because he's a good defensive player. He has speed. Same with Adam Jones. Wieters control the running game. So usually they're, and it's a big deal now because of what Fox did. I mean, obviously you spent a lot of money for the baseball rights. It was a big deal for us because I didn't like the National League. Not that I didn't like Hank Aaron. I didn't know him, but he was the enemy. And now he's the enemy because you want the home field advantage in the World Series, and that's a big deal.
3-2 delivery fouled off. I mean, at the time when the two leagues each had their separate offices and there were actual American League, National League presidents, they used to oftentimes give a pec talk. Bobby Brown used to go in when he was president.
Well, Lasorda did. He would give anybody a pep talk. A cab driver.
3-2 delivery again off Masterson. The second time that's happened. And Kipnis makes the play. So 1-4-3 on that one. 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, if you're going to pitch a full hitter, and that's what J.J. Hardy is down and away, you better get ready to field your position. And that's what he does because he's a sinker baller. He's going to hit it back up the middle. I still remember my first All-Star game. That's when I knew Earl didn't like me. Earl Weaver. He made me start, and Mays led off, and it was in Cincinnati, and Frank Howard was there greeting everybody.
Yep.
All 6-8 of them.
Yep.
That would get you in the right mood to try to beat the National League.
Chris Davis in the air to center field. Hit it hard, but Cunningham is there, and right now Masterson's in Cruz. He is retired. All of the Oriole batters, 12 of them faced in the game, and has a 5-0 lead to work with. Jason Hamill is one of the 5 that the fans will vote on for the final member of the roster. In the American League, it's Jonathan Broxton of the Royals, a pitcher. Yu Darvish, the right-hander with the Rangers. Ernesto Ferrari of the Angels, the right-hander. Jake Peavy of the White Sox, and Jason Hamill. So Jason Hamill's got a shot at going. It'll depend on the voting. You have until 4 o'clock Thursday to vote for one of the 5. You can vote as often as you want. You can go to Orioles.com and cast your ballot. On the National League side, their 5, outfielder Michael Bourne of the Braves, David Freese, the MVP of the World Series from the Cardinals, third baseman. Bryce Harper of the Nationals is one of the 5. Aaron Hill of the Diamondbacks, and veteran Chipper Jones of the Braves. My guess is the fans will vote Chipper Jones in. There's a sense of history.
Well, you would think so, because he's headed to Cooperstown and over 400 home runs. But we'll see how, kind of like American Idol, you know how the young fans, they'll go for Bryce Harper because he's 19 and got a lot of pizzazz.
Gives the fans one final chance to be heard. To short. Hardy can't get that one. And Asdrubal Cabrera is on. He gets a base hit. So Cabrera leads it off with a single. And what we talked about earlier, the inability of Brian Mattis to get leadoff batters, has shown up in this game. He's only done it once, and that was in the second inning.
Well, you had the stream meandering on Friday. That was a meandering curveball. And it just meandered its way up, stayed about belt high. And I mean, I asked Rick Manning next door, who does their television. I said, are they this good? He said, no, we're not a good hitting team. We've been really struggling. I said, because my eyes tell me.
Said, who are you watching?
They're swinging the bat real well, and they're getting a lot of good pitches to hit. He said, well, that has a lot to do with it. What he did say, and you talked about it, what 12th in home run is, they're not a power hitting team. Now, they will get Travis Hafner back. And whether how long he'll stay healthy, I mean, that's why they were talking about it. Were they interested in Jim Thome? They're talking about putting a statue up of him outside of the ballpark in Cleveland because of the great numbers he put up, but also the fact that he was part of a team that won 6 straight divisions when Mike Hargrove was there, and they had all the great players
and a great fan favorite.
Yeah.
Jason Kipnis, runner at first base. Kipnis on the check swing. Did he go? No. Mike Estabrook down at third, and a 2-ball, 1 strikeout. On this July 1, it would be the Angels and the Orioles as the 2 wild card teams in the American League, but that wild card race is just really getting close. I mean, obviously, the closer the division races are, the closer the wild card race is, because all those teams that aren't in the division lead are vying for the 2 wild card spots. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken away by Mattis, and the count will go to 3-1. Gonzalez has been up in the Oriole bullpen once before, and you've got to believe it is a very short tether right now for Brian Mattis. The Orioles cannot fall further behind in this ball game and hope to get back the way Masterson pitching. And there is another walk, and the first 2 are on again, and that will be it. Fans actually applauding Buck Showalter coming out to get Mattis. So another disappointing performance. His chance to end a 4-game losing streak. It's not going to happen here. And even more importantly for the Orioles, the questions remain. Can Brian Mattis remain in this rotation the way he is pitching right now? Orioles go to the pen. The Indians have the lead 5-0 in the 5th. The numbers on 78 pitches.
Just couldn't command his fastball. So you can see 5 runs to this point. Of course, a couple of guys on the bullpen this week struggling. So there have been some inherited runners that have scored. So we'll see how it all plays out. We do know that Miguel Gonzalez, he can throw a lot of strikes, a little breaking ball, a little change up. And those are his numbers in the big leagues. Not afraid to challenge you. I mean, the one other thing I like about him, and we'll see, he's able to pitch inside. So with Lopez coming up, you like the matchup. He got 5 hits yesterday already. Jose off to a good start this afternoon for the Indians.
So Gonzalez back with the Orioles, and Brian Mattis back on the bench as Lopez, a double, a run scored, 1 for 2 in the ball game, 7 for 10 in the series, 2 on and nobody out, and that's going to go to short. Hardy, Roberts, and they turn the double play. Well, Lopez going after the first pitch, and there are 2 down.
Well, let's see where this pitch ended up. Oh, at the knees. Had to reach for it. Rolled over. Pitching 101. And the Orioles do a nice job of turning it over. Perfectly. Ball to turn 2 on.
So 2 down, a runner at third base. And that will bring up Duncan, already 2 for 2, a double, a home run, and 2 RBIs in the ball game.
We talked about it yesterday. Tommy Hunter came in with the Orioles trailing by 1 in the twilight. Could not hold it. Gave up 5 runs today, of course. And of course, Josh Tomlin's pitching today. Masterson's pitching for him. Gonzalez comes in and holds him. The problem is you haven't gotten a hit yet. You're going to hit in the 5th. Justin Masterson has been that good.
Duncan, 0-1 count. Runner on at second base. Outfield very deep on him. Here's the 0-1 delivery. He'll foul it away. Laura Gonzalez, this will be second time around here with the Orioles. Major League debut on the 29th of May against Toronto. He appeared in just 2 games. In Norfolk, 14 games, 6 as a starter. He went 3-2 with a 1.61 ERA, giving up only 8 earned runs in 44 2/3 innings. So Gonzalez, another shot here. 0-2 delivery to Duncan, and a pop-up behind second base. Roberts, and he's got it. So a leadoff single, but the runner left stranded. The Orioles trying to find somebody to get on base in the 5th. A game. A lot of youngsters on hand. A good house. The Indians have the 5-0 lead. Can't get any cuter than that, can you? Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, Brian Mattis. Now what?
Oh, I don't know. It just happens to be on Earl Weaver weekend. You got to pitch well to be on a winning ball club, but he's not doing that. And again, he threw the ball a little bit better, but it's just not good enough. And I want somebody who's going to give me a chance to win. He's not doing that. So I think you're probably going to see a change. And that's what concerns me, Gary. Masterson's pitching well. He's got a no-hitter going. Tough to get guys. Good pitching stops good hitting. But how about our guys? Can our pitching stop good hitting or even mediocre hitting? They haven't been able to do that because the Indians came in here limping, and they look like the greatest hitting team in the history of baseball. So, you got to make changes. You got to move forward. The Orioles are what? They came in 5 games over 500. It will not last if their pitching doesn't doesn't get better. So you know, again, why would you think you need to be up here if you're not pitching well?
Yeah. Tillman knocking on the door has had some major improvements in the reports. Buck Showalter daily is in touch with the managers at the minor league level and with Rick Peterson, who oversees pitching in the organization. And we'll get to it a little later, but I asked Buck today about Dylan Bundy. I said, look, if push comes to shove, if the starters don't start picking it up and you're still trying to stay in the race for the postseason, do you make the move regarding Dylan Bundy? And there was a convoluted answer, which means they're talking about it. Ground ball towards short. That'll be played on the big hop knot. As Donald got backed up on that. Hit or an error? Because if it's a hit, it's the first one the Orioles will have.
Well, that's going to be an error because, again, you get to play the bounce at shortstop, and right here he knows the speed. He just misses it. Now, if he catches it and Adam beats it out, that's what Earl Weaver used to always say, make the play. But they can no way at this particular point give him a base hit, because now it's not going to be an easy play because of the speed of Adam.
It's an error.
Yeah.
So the error charged. Now here's Jim Thome in his second at bat. He grounded out 1-3-1, hard ball up the middle. It went off Masterson, and Thome will take it. Thome ended his stay with the Phillies a walk-off home run on the 23rd against Tampa Bay. That was the last hit he had. Final hit in the Phillies, joining the Orioles for today. And Thome with the big cut on Masterson, and the count will go to 0-2.
Yeah, the O's got him started because he had come in off the DL, had the back problems, said they're fine now, but he was 2 for 20 and had the big series against us and did hit 4 home runs. And
he likes to DH.
Yeah.
Because he knows that's where the rest of his career will be. And he talked before the game about, I know my career is winding down. I understand that. How long I'm going to play, I don't know. Could be this is it. I don't know. I'll talk to the family, he said, when the season's over, but I know I'm on the backside of it. But he said, I'm here. It's a good ball club. I like the way the Orioles have played. It's exciting. It's a chance maybe for another postseason and a chance to help get them there and to do a job not only at the plate but also as a veteran leader in the clubhouse.
And that's why they got him.
2-2 delivery. Thome will take the pitch. Did he go? No.
See, he's going to strike out a lot. He's going to walk a lot. I mean, that's the one thing. On base percentage lifetime right around 40% of the time. What was one of the mantras for the Orioles this year? Higher on base percentage, and it's gone down. So this guy will show you how to do it.
Here's the 3-2. Jones running, and a strike called and a stolen base. So Jim Thome is called out on strikes. Jones gets the stolen base, one away.
So that's now 12 out of 18. You can run a little bit. Marson makes a pretty nice throw. But again, he's got to catch the ball. It's going to be a swing and a miss, like maybe a changeup right in the middle of the plate. And then Jim Thome's going to swing right through it. Let's see how it plays out from this angle. Not a lot of arm strength from Marson.
Marson only 15% getting base stealers. So the Orioles have a runner in scoring position. Still no hits. And here's Betemit. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Marson has 4 strikeouts in the game. Marson's problem this year, not in June, but the first 2 months were walks. He's 5th in the league in walks surrendered. That's going to go to short. Another big hop. Donald had to play that one in the middle and gets it over there in time to get the out. Over to third base goes Jones, but there are now 2 away. What would you do if you had a chance to run the Orioles? Head over to Facebook.com/Massillon Orioles and enter to win a dinner with Buck Showalter. Your chance to get a one-on-one with the O's manager. Plus, he'll let you bring a guest, and Massillon's going to take care of the tab. Today is your last day to enter. 2 away. Flaherty, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Masterson comes in with a loss against the Yankees. 4 runs, 7 hits over 6. He won the previous 2 before that against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. But as we said, the month of June, a good one. Even though his record was 2-3, his ERA was 2.05.
Yeah, we said yesterday, anytime a guy rolls into Baltimore with a 4-7 record with giving up 4 runs a game, you know he doesn't get a whole lot of runs. He gets 3.22. So today's like Christmas, getting 5 early.
And the pitch is up high to Flaherty, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count.
See, so they know that Ryan can hit the fastball. Most young hitters that are highly touted, and he is, can do that. Let's see if he gets one here. Yep. But it's a sinker.
2-2. He gets the good sinker ball down. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report coming back 5 to 7 tomorrow. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin. Latest Oriole news, headlines. Look at the road trip coming up in the All-Star selections. Plus the guys have the analysis. What's going on around the leagues tomorrow at 5 on Masson. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Flaherty foul back.
What was that when Reed just did the show where you can win $1 million? You had the lifeline.
Want to be a millionaire?
Nah, but it used to the revolving chair and all that. You could always have your lifeline. When it comes to sports, Phil Wood's my lifeline. If I get one call, I want it to be Phil. For sports.
Here's the
I want to make that perfectly clear.
Perfectly clear.
He's the one came up, and I said, why didn't Johnny Damon wear an 18? All of a sudden on my phone appeared, they retired Mel Harder's number. The man knows all.
There you go.
Lifeline. Phil Wood.
Hang on to that one till you
Tomorrow.
get to that $1 million question. 3-2 delivery to Flaherty. Flaherty puts it in the air towards center. It's not deep. First hit maybe. Yes! And a run. Flaherty gets the single and RBI. Jones scores. And the Orioles are on the board. It's 5-1.
Yeah, Ryan misplays the ball earlier, or takes a bad route to it, and Cunningham takes a little drop step. That's when you take your back foot up. Big swing, doesn't hit it. Pretty much by a lot of hang time. So he drops back with that right leg and then can't get to it. Orioles on the board. Never know. Hot. How long can you go if you're Justin Masterson?
6 RBIs. That's going to be a base hit into left field. No question about that one by Paulino. So the Orioles, who did not have a hit coming into this inning, get back-to-back singles. And that will bring Kochman, the veteran first baseman, to the mound just to try and allow Masterson a chance to regroup. Masterson against the Orioles, 4 wins and 3 losses lifetime. He beat the Orioles twice last year, went 2-0 against them. Off first and second, Andino on the sweeping off-speed breaking ball, and it is a strike call.
Yeah, when you're as big as Justin Masterson, it took him a while to sync all this up. He's got that big arm swing. He's 6'6", 250, out of Kingston, Jamaica. Great extension.
Fastball in there for a strike. The first Jamaican to make it to the major leagues. And they all said, let's have a red stripe on that one. And
the 0-2
count. That's what they said. Ever have red stripe?
No.
Here's the 0-2 delivery.
But I've seen people have it.
Very popular Jamaican beer.
I actually did a couple of golf and tennis things with Richie Ashburn, some of the Mets. We went to Jamaica, Air Jamaica, a couple of times. It was nice weather.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 delivery up high and a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Especially early in December, if you're living in Baltimore. Yeah, it was really nice weather. The pork pit is about 400 yards from the airport down there in Montego Bay. Fish and tin, jerk chicken.
You can see them what they look like before and after. 2-2 delivery and a ground ball to short. That'll be played by Donald. And he goes to second base and gets the force out. But the Orioles get a hit and a run, leaving a couple on base. Now a 5-1 Indians lead. The O's enter July 42-36. Last time they had a record this good entering July was 05 when they were 43-35. And vying for the wild card spot, if not the division lead right now. Remember, there are 2 wild card teams, and what you're looking at are the wild card rankings. So the Red Sox are a game and a half out of the wild card spot, as are the Rays, the Blue Jays 2.5, and there are another half dozen teams within striking distance of one of those 2 wild card positions.
So there are the numbers for Miguel Gonzalez. Well, that was pretty nice. Double play, and then the pop-up of Shelley Duncan comes in. No inherited runner scored. You keeps you in the game, and now you add a run. You're only down by 4. Do it again.
Here's Casey Kochman. He'll foul that one back into the screen. So Kochman leading it off has doubled, picked up a run, and has popped out. Kochman hitting at .226, 6 home runs and 27 RBIs. And that one's going to come in by the letters. Key now is to try and shut down this Cleveland offense that so far has been refused to shut down.
Well, let's see if they can hit some good pitches, because that's what Miguel Gonzalez did when he came in relief. And good stuff out of the strike zone.
That'll end up in the seats.
Yeah, Casey yesterday, they get 19 hits. Of course, he makes some terrific defensive plays, but he doesn't get any. Today, as we had told you, Brian Mattis gets lefties out, but he got a ball up in the zone, and Kochman doubled to deep right center field. I think it almost looked like it almost got out of here.
Roberts makes the play. Kochman is retired and one away. Take a look at the National League starting lineup for the All-Star game as voted by the fans. How great is that? What a comeback story for Buster Posey, missing the season and now back as an All-Star. Joey Votto's having a great year. Dan Uggla, Rafael Furcal, Pablo Sandoval, Panda Bear's back, Melky Cabrera, Matt Kemp. Just an unbelievable start for him, and Carlos Beltran of the Cardinals.
Yeah, and that's kind of like comeback player of the year, even though he came back last year, but he's having a terrific year. How about Melky Cabrera? Had a great year for Kansas City. He's hitting over .350. Look through that lineup, a lot of good players. Posey got the most votes ever in the National League.
Isn't that great? It's a wonderful story. I thought it was interesting. Earl Weaver talked about it yesterday. He was talking about his catchers and protecting him when he said, I never wanted my catcher to balk the plate. I don't need to save one run and lose a catcher for a season. And he referred to Buster Posey and the incident at the plate where Posey got run over and was knocked out for the season. 2 ball, 1 strike count, and the same thing Buck Showalter has done with Matt Wieters and his catchers. Showalter, after the early collision that Wieters had, has made it clear he wants catchers out in front of that plate a little bit. Give yourself a chance to swing back, but don't be in that baseline when you're waiting for the baseball to come.
Yeah, and then if you are going to block it, that left leg up the baseline so you can absorb it. Of course, we've seen some terrific tag plays by Matt Wieters this year. The one that comes to mind, though, is that 16th inning up in Boston in the 17th inning game when Bird tried to score, and they threw him out to get out of the 16th. It's the kind of year the Orioles have had, 9-0 in their last 9 extra inning games. Yep. So got to turn it around, and it could start. If Gonzalez pitches well enough today, and again he has been starting, he's a guy that certainly could be a guy you might put out there every 5th day.
3-2 delivery is fouled back.
It's away with a hanging slider there, and that's when you have to read the bat. You have to be able to see where the bat head was, and so for Donald, he was right on it.
Donald playing time at shortstop. Multi-versatile player. 3-2 delivery to him, and that'll be fouled away. He has doubled and walked in the ball game, and the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gonzalez. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat coming up here. We talk about versatility that Jason Donald has. He appeared in 21 games at shortstop at AAA, second base 5 times, third base 6 times, left field 5 times, center field 4 times, and he gets a walk. So he's been all 3 times up in this ball game. First walk by Gonzalez, one away. On Sunday, July 15, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over get the replica Orioles home cartoon bird cap presented by DAP. The new white panel cap is popular with fans of all ages, and you'll get a chance to get yours. Tigers will be in town for a 1:35 game. That's Sunday, July 15. 888-848-BIRD for tickets. Here's Lou Marson. He has picked up an RBI on a fielder's choice and has grounded out, looking to extend his 4-game hit streak. Indians 5 runs, 7 hits, an error. The Orioles 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Unearned run scoring in the 5th inning for the Orioles. Jones crossed after getting on the error charge to Donald. And that pitch will be a strike called. Little discussion going
Yeah, he
on.
thought it was. Did you call that a strike?
Marson has had a couple of comments to the home plate umpire Rob Drake in the game, at least ones we can see when he's facing the pitcher rather than kneeling down, and he's going to look back again.
Well, he's saying it with a smile, and I guess you don't want to irritate the home plate umpire when you look at the scoreboard and you have a 5-1 lead. Rick Dempsey, the day I won my 200th game, it was a close pitch, and Durwood Merrill was the late Durwood Merrill was the umpire, and Rick didn't like the call in the 7th inning. I came out to pitch the 8th, and actually Durwood gave me one of these, like, come on, you know, like, I don't know, maybe he's rooting. Wasn't giving me any pitches, but he was rooting for me. Boy, he threw Rick out because Rick said, "Are you sure that was a strike?" And he's gone. So I tell him, years later, I said, "You give me the hey, come on," and then you throw my catcher out. He said, "Just trying to help, just trying to help."
That was his version of help.
Yes.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be up high. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Marson. Donald on at first base and 1 away. Indians jumping out on top here. Duncan has had a couple of RBIs, including a homer. Kochman an RBI double. RBI home run for Cunningham, his first of the year as the Orioles starter. Brian Mattis 5 runs in 4 1/3 innings, 4+ innings rather, and the throw over again, keeping Donald close to the bag.
And another factor, I know it seems silly, but we're getting into the hot months, and it's hot and humid, and you perspire, and you got to figure out a way to be able to grip the ball. And we've seen Chen have problems. Jake Arrieta was just saying, trying to come up with a magic formula. Now you won't have to worry about that on the West Coast. Seattle is going to be about 67, maybe 70. But you can see Miguel Gonzalez wiping off his hands, trying to get a grip on the ball.
2-2 with the runner going. It works perfectly. Base hit into right field. Davis will be up with it. Runner going to third is Donald in the hit and run. Whether the infielder moved or not, that ball was going to go in. But it was where he wanted it to go, into right field.
Perfectly executed.
First and third now, 1 away. Our Rose Extra postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. Jim and Rick standing by to take a look at this one. Buck Showalter will have the press conference. We'll hear from him and the player interviews and more, all coming up after the ball game.
Well, so Lou Marson said, well, you're going to call it a little bit outside. I guess I'm going to have to swing at it.
And it worked.
Yep. So almost hit for the cycle yesterday. They were saying for a guy that had a chance to hit for the cycle, he certainly didn't try to hit a home run. He was trying to walk. Manny Actis said, pretty wimpy.
Not fair.
No.
Guy going for the cycle. You're saying his last at bat was wimpy. I mean, it was an RBI base hit to right field.
I understand that.
No, I'm not saying you said that.
No, I know.
The manager said that.
Helicopter, get up there, punch out like everybody else.
He's
Come
a team
on.
player. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
When's the last time Lou Marson ever played 4 straight games in the big leagues? That would be a trivia question. That's my point. He's done a nice job for him. Great job, as a matter of fact.
1-0 count. Runners off first and third, and that slider will miss outside, and the count will go to 2-0. Cunningham to be followed by Chu at the top of the order. Indians 8 hits on the board now after the base hit by Marson. He's continued his hit streak to 5 games. Miguel Gonzalez with only 1 away, looking for that ground ball. Try and turn 2 and end the inning. 2-0 delivery. 2-ball, 1-strike count to him. Orioles open up in Seattle, and we will be on the air at 9:30 for O's Extra, 10 o'clock for the ball game. Hishashi Iwakuma will make the start, 1-1, and Jason Himmel.
Who was that?
Can you read? Here.
Thank you.
And ball fouled off outside of first base.
Yeah, I looked at the prospective starters and I got really nervous. Thought I was back in Williamsport in the Little League World Series. Where he couldn't pronounce it. And that's when Al Trautman used to say, just say the names fast.
Iwakuma. It is Iwakuma. Yes. The troublesome part of the Little League World Series, however, is the entire Chinese Taipei team is named either Li or Ling. And if the last name isn't Li, the first name is. And a strikeout. Cunningham goes down swinging. And Gonzalez gets his first strikeout.
Yeah, I think he made a good job of reading the bat early, late on the fastball. Why mess around with a slider? Throw it right by him. Of course, Aaron Cunningham, after homering early on, he's thinking maybe I can get another RBI, put a ball in the air. Couldn't do it. Nice pitch.
So here's Sin-Soo Choo at the top of the order. He has not extended his hit streak. He's actually grounded out twice in the game, which is amazing for the series he's having. And with 2 away, runners on at first and third. Choo walked his first time up. Checking down at third with Marson looking over for the signs from first. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way, and that will be taken inside. And a 2-0 count.
Well, Manny active. When you manage, you have to put up a lineup that's going to be the most productive. And the move, the middle of May, 14th of May, to bring Choo to lead off, has been genius. And you don't know it. I mean, he's a middle of the order guy. And like Manny said, we talked about it a couple of days ago. He said, I wish I could have him hitting first and third, but I can't. So I'm going to put him up there. And on base percentage is good. Then you get Cabrera behind him. He can steal bases, get some fastballs. He's a good fastball hitter. He sets up your whole lineup.
3-0 count. And in the air to left field. Flaherty is there. And he's got it. And that will retire the side. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 more are left on base. It remains a 5-1 Indians lead.
Shelley Duncan with a home run, 1-0. And then Jason Donald will hit a home run, or to the Aaron Cunningham. And then Kochman, no hits yesterday, double off the wall. A lot of high fastballs. The Indians take advantage of it. Masterson no hitter going into the 5th. And Flaherty dumps a single after the error. Jones scores. And the Orioles trail 5-1 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Bry Roberts will lead it off. Masterson will get the strike in. Masterson has had Roberts pop out and fly out to right field. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning now. The Orioles 2 hits. Flaherty and Paulina with singles back to back in that last inning. And Masterson has been on the money. Here at Camden Yards, Masterson 1 win, 2 losses lifetime. Good breaking ball. Brian Roberts retired, and that is strikeout number 5.
Yeah, if you told any young pitcher with good stuff, learning how to pitch, get ahead and then bury your breaking ball out of the zone. And even guys that command the strike zone well, like Brian does when he's playing well, will chase. I mean, that's exactly what he does.
And that will bring up J.J. Hardy outside for a ball. Hardy has flied out, grounded out. 2 balls have gone off Masterson. The pitcher hit back to him. Hardy had one of those. His came back in the 4th inning. That one's right through the middle. Almost got him again. So Hardy on with a single with 1 away here in the 6th. The middle of the order coming. The Orioles Legends Celebration Series continues on Saturday, July 14. Jim's going to be honored with that larger-than-life bronze sculpture in the new center field garden area. And all ballpark gates are going to open at 2. The ceremonies start at 2:15. First pitch that day with the Tigers is 4:05. Make note of the times. That's Saturday, July 14. Gates opening at 2. Ceremonies for Jim at 2:15. 888-848-BIRD. Orioles.com for tickets. And a check swing. That is a pass ball, probably. And down to second base goes Hardy. It is a strike on the swing.
Yeah, good breaking ball. If
Wild
it doesn't,
pitch.
if it doesn't bounce, usually they give it to the catcher. And I don't think that one did. Bounced after he missed it, but maybe he crossed him up. Or actually, I guess what's happening there, runner at second, they're going to go out and change the signs. Oh, he just doesn't catch it. It's just a breaking ball down. Either way, fastball, wild pitch, he's at second. Orioles need to get back on the board. Good chance to do it here.
Masterson has 8 wild pitches and 7 hit batters on the season. But obviously, that's not the way he's pitching here today. That's going to be outside to Davis. Chris Davis has struck out and flied out. Davis at 273 in the year now. And in the series, he's had 4 hits and 13 at bats, a home run and 4 RBIs. And that will be fouled off outside of first. So 1 ball, 2 strike count. Good series for Chris that he'd like to continue those numbers on into the rest of July. Hardy on at second base, and Davis on a cut becomes strikeout victim number 6.
Yeah, better fastball hitter, especially against righties. A little changeup, or maybe just a sinker, but it's about 4 or 5 miles per hour slower. And gets Chris to swing over the top of it.
2 down. Runner on at second, and here's Adam Jones, one of the Oriole All-Stars. He reached on an error. The unearned run scored in the 5th inning. He has grounded out, stolen a base in the game. And that's going to be into right center field. Hardy's going to come around to score all the way to the wall. Picked up by Cunningham. It's a double and an RBI for Jones, and it is a 5-2 game.
Yeah, for Justin Masterson, when you elevate the ball to a good fastball hitter, and that's what he does pretty much down the middle, good swing. Watch how he stays inside and how level the bat is at impact.
So the Orioles have 4 hits in the ball game, chipping away here. A run in the 5th, run in the 6th. Now Jim Thome would ignite the house with a long ball. Thome has grounded out and struck out.
Yeah, he doesn't get cheated. He will swing the bat.
Swinging on each of the first pitches, does so here. Played in the outfield by Kipnis, who throws to first to get the out. So that will do it. The Orioles will pick up a run, couple of hits, 1 left on base, and it's a 5-2 ball game. on this Sunday as the Orioles wrap it up. Jim Thome making his first appearance in an Orioles uniform as the designated hitter today, and obviously received warmly. And the Orioles now trying to put some runs back on the board after Brian Mattis lasted only 4+, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And Masterson did not give up a hit to the Orioles till the 5th inning. He has walked none, struck out 6, and the Indians have the 5-2 lead. Miguel Gonzalez on in relief stays out. He came on in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Jim Thome, terrific guy. He likes to talk, likes to hit, likes the game. Talk about enthusiasm.
He's never lost it.
No.
Here's Cabrera. And the pitch is inside. Cabrera single, 1 for 3. The switch hitter continues to put up big numbers against the Orioles. A lifetime .349 hitter against the O's. And .324 here at Camden Yards. He's had 5 home runs against the Orioles, and 4 of them have been hit in this ballpark in his career. 1 ball, 1 strikeout.
And it should be noted that Asdrubal Cabrera made the All-Star team. Very deservedly.
That is taken for a strike.
Nice guy that can play defense and switch hit, and likes to hit here, especially after these 4 games.
The 1-2 delivery, and that will be swung out and missed, and Gonzalez will get his 2nd strikeout. Cabrera retired. Our PNC minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. We talked about Chris Tillman, one of the possible options if Mick Showalter wishes to make a change in the starting rotation. 5-1 ERA, 1.96 in his last 6 starts with AAA Norfolk. On the season, 8-8. Here's Gipnis inside.
I look at those numbers and I look where we're going. We got him from Seattle in the Bigard trade. Maybe he'll be out there. Certainly, it looks like he's earned it.
You know, there are a lot of discussions going on, front office and manager at this point.
Well, it's not like he hasn't pitched in the big leagues. Even last year, when he had 5 of his last 6 starts were 1 run or less, he just pitched, couldn't control the ball, out of the ball game. And he's not throwing. I heard that, again, the number, the velocity up, and obviously struggled early. One of the guys that worked out with Brady Anderson got himself in shape, and he's been on a roll with those numbers.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way down to first base. That is a fair ball. Bettermeat will take it to the bag.
Well, what you like about Miguel Gonzalez, the number 1 thing, and it's not about how hard he throws the ball, it's how he commands it. And number 2, he throws it over. There's a changeup. We've seen fastballs. We've seen sliders came in. A couple of guys on. No inherited runners scored. Made a perfect pitch for the double play. So you like this. You like what you see.
And our 7th inning brought to you by Hyundai. Before new Hyundai owners even stepped off the lot, we asked them to tell us about their cars they just bought. They said it. We heard it in the booth. 1-0 count on Jose Lopez. Lopez has had a double, a run scored, has hit into a double play and is grounded out. In addition to Asdrubal Cabrera going to the All-Star game for the Indians, Chris Perez, their closer, has also been selected. So be a couple from Cleveland. 2-0 count. And that's the 3rd and Adam ball, and Dino right there will get it. And a 1-2-3 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time at Camden Yards, brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Is Seattle, and in game one, Jason Hamill. He'll be taking the mound against Hisaki Iwamoka. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 9:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 10. All the access you need right here on MASN. Back here at Camden Yards, our seventh inning stretch. And the Orioles still trying to find a way to get some runs. Masterson rolling along here, pretty much in control of the ball game, with the Orioles getting an unearned run against him and then another earned. Still a chance, though, as has happened here. Gonzalez's work has given the Orioles a chance to be in the ball game.
Well, it has, and that's what a long man does. We had such a great one. Sammy Stewart would come in, and again, back then you had about a 9-man staff, so it was very important to have that guy. I have 12, 13-man staffs now, but he's done a nice job, and you give your team a chance. We haven't seen that a lot this week, where they think every at bat they have the last 3 innings are meaningful. I mean, that's what a starting pitcher tries to do. Brian Mattis couldn't do that, so we'll see what plays out. And, of course, Perez is the all-star. He's very good, but the Orioles did get a run off him when he did come in for that tune-up inning earlier in this series.
Obviously, the Orioles would like to leave here in this homestand, even though it's not going to be a winning one, with a W to take with them, because the games are not going to get any easier. Seattle's a team that the Orioles have to view as one where they've got to take 2 out of 3, but then you got the Angels following that. But saying that, with Seattle playing at home, and you're going to get Felix Hernandez in the middle game, it's not going to be easy.
Well, he's on a roll. He's won his last 3, struck out 30 in the last 23 innings, struck out 13, beat the Red Sox. The Red Sox, one of the better offensive teams, 1-0 the other day. So, again, there's no deal. You go over there. It's a different time zone. Then you have to go play 4 games down in Anaheim. They came in here and battered the Orioles around with 20 runs in 2 games.
It's just, the whole season this year, one of the things I really like about the double wild card is it's leaving so many more teams in a position where they can think about playing in the postseason that it makes all of the games in the regular season that much more meaningful. There aren't going to be many games played against teams that are simply, where you say, out of it, and they've got nothing more to gain. It's not going to be that way in virtually all of the divisions. You can probably count a half-dozen teams in Major League Baseball right now. You could say, look, they're not going to get back into the race, but that leaves a lot of teams who still have a shot. That pitch has got to be taken away, and Wilson Betemeat leads it off, bottom of the 7th inning. The Indians leading at 5-2, 5-8-1 for the Indians. The Orioles 2-4-0. And Betemeat watches another one go by on a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and just imagine if you have, say, 2 of your teams vying for first place and the wild card. And in years past, if you knew you were going to get the wild card, you could back off. Now you can't, because you don't want to be one of those wild card teams that wants to have the 1-game playoff to get into the division series,
which gives season more meaning than the regular season.
It really does, and going to have to go full tilt all the way to the end. But again, the Orioles, as they get into the second half, you hope that Hamill's knees settles down.
Going to go to center field.
Knuckleball.
Diving, can't get it. And Betemeat will lead it off with a base hit here in the 7th.
Yeah, well, Hoyt Wilhelm just hit one at home plate. That ball knuckled all over the place, and Cunningham couldn't track it. And we saw that early on, and I don't know if it was Josh Hamilton to Adam Jones in center when the Rangers were in, but for some reason the ball knuckles, and then he just can't get it. You could see it going all over the place, and he can't glove it. So the Orioles just what they want to do is just get to the bullpen and take their chances.
Here is Flaherty. 5 hits for the Orioles in the ball game. Ryan Flaherty will take it on the inside corner for a strike, RBI single, and he has struck out. The Orioles, since June 15, coming into this ball game, only 86 hits, the fewest in that span in the majors, with a batting average of 199 in the last half of June. And they're trying to turn that around here in this first day of July. Masterson is up to 90 pitches thrown in the ball game, so some thought will have to be given to the bullpen. But that being said, he's done a heck of a job, and he generally pitches around the 105 to 110 pitch mark. There he is again. Kochman one. Double play. Catching the baseball, it matters. And at first base, there aren't many better than Casey Kochman.
No, year in and year out. I mean, he's a glove guy. I think everybody thought he was going to be 20 home runs. He an all-star, the way he can play first base if he could do that. And again, just the ability to catch it. He slows the game down, tags the bag, gets out of the baseline so he can make a perfect throw. And you don't get to see him throw that much, but he put a little extra on it. Perfect throw to double him up.
So just like that, 2 away. Here's Ronnie Polino. Called on a swinging strike by Rob Drake, the home plate umpire. And Polino with a single.
And isn't it nice to throw a ground ball at Camden Yards, which is what Justin Masterson can do when he's pitching well.
All the way to the backstop on that one.
So there's the extra at 95.
Marson looked up at Polino and said something to him after the ball went whizzing by. Manny Acta looking on. We had a warning issue, of course, yesterday.
Yeah, Manny was still trying to figure that out today. Well, of course, his pitcher did throw behind a hitter.
that old question.
Well, you'll just come. Well, yeah, nobody knows why.
Chisenhall got hit had that ulnar bone broken, and they thought it might have been retaliation for that when they threw one behind Hardy, but it was kind of why?
Troy Patton doesn't throw at people.
No.
That's just one of those things. Ball runs in, you get hit.
3-1 delivery, and the count goes to 3-2. 2 down. Nobody on here in the 7th inning. The Orioles 22-19 at home now, 20-16 on the road with their 42-35 mark. And a swing and a miss. Boy, what a job. Justin Masterson has been just that, a master man on the mound today. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 7 complete. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, Justin Masterson, what a job.
Well, the tail of the tape. He threw the ball well. He pitched well. He commanded well. They got him early runs. And then Gonzalez comes in, and so there you go. Well, we've been seeing it. Those numbers certain identify it. And again, if you go back and they look at film so much now, and we used to do it back then, and you'd think you'd be making good pitches, and you go back and you think the ball's in the outside corner. Well, it's not. It's out in the outside third, and then you go, oh yeah, it was 2-1. He was looking there, wasn't he? So it's pretty much right down the middle. So they're going to have to adjust, and I'm getting the feeling, the way this club with Dan Duquette and even Buck Showalter, that if you're not doing the job, you're going to bring some other guys in. And why not? That's the way the game should be played.
Hey, you've made it this far. You come to July 1st. You're in a wild card playoff spot at the moment, tenuous as it may be. You're not going to stop. I mean, now you got to make the moves that are necessary to try and keep you there. And a swing and a miss by Duncan. Gonzalez retires the side in order in the 7th inning. Since coming on, he's given up only a single to Marson and 1 walk, has recorded 2 strikeouts.
Well, but and there, you know what they're going to say? Wow, Miguel, Gonzalez, this lineup was built to face Mattis, which it was. And you know, if he had started, they would have stacked it with the 9 lefties, probably.
Flaherty going back in left field. He's got it. No. Takes a bounce off the wall. Jones will be there to back him up. Throw come into second base.
Well, you play very deep here. And once again, and this is just, and it's really, it's unfair to Ryan Flaherty because the ball comes off the bat differently. Again, he takes a step across. Right there, you see it. 2 steps, 3 steps across, and then back. If he's able to read the ball off the bat, kind of like in tennis, did you slice it? Did you top spin it? You go to the direct line and you catch it. He's certainly athletic to do that. He just hasn't played out there enough. So you can't hide guys that are playing out of position. You hope that the plays won't affect him and it won't be hard plays, but he's had a couple of tough plays today. I'm not talking about the routine fly ball that he had to miss the communication. These are balls you either make or you don't.
Michael Brantley will come on as the pinch runner. A ball game for Duncan. 2 doubles, a home run, 2 RBIs. And Brantley is on at second base. And that will bring up Casey Kochman. Kochman a double and RBI, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Hitting .225 on the year. And the pitch will be taken for a ball. So the Indians look to put up 1 or more late in the game. We're in the 8th inning. They now have a 9-hit ball game, going for double digits in hits yet again. 1-0 delivery to Kochman. That misses outside, and the count's 2-0.
And I guess another point to be made about that, Al Bunbury came to the Earl Weaver statue ceremony yesterday, and you know, Al came up with Rookie of the Year. I mean, Buck Showalter, everything I'm talking about, he's seeing all these things, but Al hadn't played a lot of outfield, so he took routes like that every day. I used to shag a lot. That would be part of the conditioning. He'd go, Cakes, get out of here, and he'd take maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of balls off the bat. So if you're going to be a good outfielder, you have to do that. Now, again, for Ryan Flaherty, he's playing all over the place. It's hard for him to do that. First year in the big leagues. For him to get better, if he's going to play out there, that's what he's going to have to do.
Yep.
That's what good outfielders do to get as good as they can be.
2-1 delivery on the way. Will miss inside. But Showalter was not happy that he had to send Xavier Avery out, the only other outfielder he really has on the ball club, but they wanted to make sure Avery was going to get playing time in through the All-Star break. Don't be surprised to see Avery back with the Orioles, and other changes perhaps before or during the All-Star break. 3-1 delivery. Kochman did go after that one, and it's 3-2.
Well, the game that's being played here, Kochman wants to pull the ball, get the runner to third, get that 6th run. And this is what they're looking at. And he definitely went out on that swing. Good breaking ball and a fastball count. And when you're able to do that, all of a sudden the hitter has no idea what's coming. 3-2.
Kochman at an 0 for 7 before he got the double in the 4th inning, an RBI double. Runner off second base, nobody out, and Gonzalez stopped in the delivery. His timeout was asked for at the plate.
I just don't think that they should give timeout that late unless there's a real reason. Just because the guy holds the ball a little bit.
That's about as far as you can go without throwing it.
That's what I mean.
Here's the 3-2 again. And got the walk. Second walk surrendered by Gonzalez. 2-1 here in the 8th inning. Nobody out. Show off your Birdland pride and support the many Orioles Reach charitable efforts by ordering the new official Orioles Maryland license plate featuring the popular new cartoon bird, the plate. Great way to show your support, and the proceeds go to the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Visit Orioles.com/plates for more info to reserve yours.
Yeah, that walk by Kochman's a perfect example. When they look at a minor leaguer and they're going to bring him to the big leagues, how is what he's doing in AA, AAA, wherever he's coming from, translate to the big leagues? And in the minor leagues, they might have swung at that pitch. Kochman takes it instead of a strikeout or maybe an out. He's down at first.
And Jason Donald, with nobody out, probably going to bunt here. Orioles play in at the corners. He squares, trying to drop it. It hit him. It is a foul ball. Caught him in the batter's box. And a 1-strike count.
And the question is where in the batter's box. See, he's in there. If he's out of it, he's out. And then it crawls up his arm. And key to bunting is where the bat is. The angle of the bat head, and is it out in fair territory, so you can just bunt the ball fair. Looked like that was pretty good technique, but still didn't get it down.
College ball, University of Arizona, 27-year-old, originally selected by the Phillies. See if he bunts again. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that one's fouled off, and Paulino may have caught a piece of that one on the bare hand. That will bring Buck Showalter out.
No, right on the arm. Richie Bancells, the Orioles head trainer, out.
You can actually see on that shot the movement when that ball hit the arm, how it reacted to it as it got it flush. Joe West coming over also to take a look here, the crew chief.
It almost like it rested there for a second. Inflicted pain and moved on.
Just grubbing the baseball. He's going to play a little catch out there with Andino. Just
I
to make
thought
sure
he was going to go out there and say to Miguel Gonzalez, hey, why don't you catch? I'll pitch. I kind of like what Chris Davis did up in Boston. Come on, let's just change positions.
So Paulino will stay in the ball game. And the count will be resumed at 2 strikes. So Donald with Brantley at second base, Conchman on at first, unable to get down the bunt on the first 2 pitches, now behind in the count. 2 walks and a double in the ball game for the shortstop. Andino will still play even with the bag at third. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him, and a swing and a miss, so he didn't get the job done. And Gonzalez does. He gets his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, how often are you asked to bunt? And then kind of when before the DH, boy, you really felt bad about yourself when you couldn't get him over. And right here, the high heater up the zone. Looks like Miguel Gonzalez has a little extra on that fastball when he gets it up.
And here is Marson. Lou Marson, the catcher, with a single, RBI and a fielder's choice, and he is grounded out. They at 286 on the year, and an important at bat here with the Orioles down by 3 in the 8th inning, and a couple on and only 1 away.
Well, Gary, after watching him through the course of this series, he loves the ball away. That and the hanging breaking ball. So why don't you just run the ball in on them? Let's see if they go in.
Here's the 0-1 delivery.
Yep, right there. And he doesn't chase.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Marson.
The thing about Ronnie Paulino, he gets the glove up and he moves late, so the hitter can't see where he's going. You know, he's a big guy.
Marson has been outstanding on the road, hitting .350 in road games for them and .172 at home. 1-1 delivery to him. Did he go? Check it first. Yes. Joe West. 1-2.
Earl Weaver's buddy. Hard to say that. Never thought I'd say that about an umpire, but it's what he's looking at.
Goes on the field, stays on the field. Or something like that. A 1 ball, 2 strike count on Marson. The other times you just golf together.
That's right.
Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's fouled away. 16,689, 16,689. The announced attendance on this Sunday afternoon to see the Orioles wrap up this homestand against the Indians. 96 degrees when we started today. Fortunately, for most of the game, there's been some of the high clouds roaming around that have at least provided a little bit of shelter from direct sunlight. And that's going to be outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. The Orioles fell behind early in the game. home run picked up in the second inning by Cunningham. Home run, or in the third. Duncan got his in the second. Early 2-0 lead. 3 more in the fourth inning. 5-0 before the Orioles got a run in the fifth. Here's the 2-2 delivery. And foul back. Marston retired the first 12 Oriole batters that he faced. Then Jones reached on an error in the fifth. He would score. Flaherty an RBI single. The Orioles added another in the sixth. Jones got the RBI double to bring home Hardy, who had reached on a single. Runners off first and second. The 2-2. Gonzalez.
I think that was, he's got a split-fingered fastball. He doesn't throw it very often, but that certainly filters down. Watch this ball just drop a little bit. And Lou Marston gives up on it. Finally, they get him out. There it is. You can see the grip. Watch it tumble. A little bit different speed, maybe about 10 miles per hour slower, as a matter of fact. Perfect pitch on the outside corner.
Runners remain at first and second, and now there are 2 down. And Cunningham has struck out twice, hit a home run, his first of the year. And he'll foul that away as he got jammed. And to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game candidate, Shelley Duncan, big 2 RBIs, a home run. Adam Jones has contributed with an RBI and a run scored in the ball game. And Justin Masterson, a sterling performance. Just a couple of runs on 5 hits over 7. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826.
Before you vote, just Masterson's numbers on the road. You know, you look at all the numbers. He was 1-4 with a 6.88 ERA, and he's pitched as well as he has.
And Gonzalez over the top on a fastball, 0-2.
So all of a sudden, all the numbers get thrown out the window, at least this afternoon.
Well, Masterson picking right up where he left off in June with that big 2.05 ERA for the month. He had a 5.4 the first month, a 4.93 the second month, and a 2.05 in June. That's trending in the right direction.
Yep. And the White Sox behind the Yankees so far this afternoon, and they're only 2 back in the loss column.
In the race, the Indians, who held down that #1 spot a good deal of the first half of the season. Cleveland in first place, 40 out of 87 days, and 35 consecutive in first. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And foul back again. The runners remain at first and second base here in the 8th inning.
Man, they got to be very pleased the way they've responded offensively in this series. And then you go back, they didn't play well defensively behind Derek Lowe. He didn't make a great pitch. He's still talking about it. The 3, he tried to throw a low sinker to Matt Wieters. It ended up on Utah Street.
Sure have been hitting. 1-2, and that'll be down low, blocked by Polina. So that will have the runners jumping off second and third. 2 ball, 2 strike count, trying to get that extra lead off the bases here in case of a base hit.
Yeah, Bradley can run. He came in to pinch run for Shelley Duncan.
5-2 ball game. Indians on top, and the 2-2. Got him. 5 strikeouts for Gonzalez. First 2 on, and he leaves them there. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and Dino Robertson, Hardy due up. contribute $50 to support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. To date, the Orioles have 221 walks, total $11,050. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. So Justin Masterson leaves with a chance to pick up his 5th win of the season and his 5th lifetime against 3 losses against the Orioles in a very impressive performance.
Yeah, hot. He was almost as hot as the weather. And Pestano comes on, who's pitched very well. We saw him yesterday. Great June. Only 1 earned run in 9 appearances in the month of June. And then over the last 16 1/3 innings, only 2 runs. So doing at least in the position where if you're Manny Acta, you bring your hold guy, and that's what he's done.
And you put your best defense out there, which is also what Acta has done. Cunningham's going to move from center to left. Aaron Cunningham in left field. Brantley, who came on to run, Michael Brantley, will stay in center field. And Hanahan, the regular third baseman, now in the ball game for Lopez. And a swing and a miss by Andino. Andino's had an 0 for 2. He has grounded out, hit into a fielder's choice. In at third base, Hanahan to take the bunt away. That is away, and a 1-ball-1-strike count.
And Hanahan, the highest fielding percentage of any American League third baseman in 2011. So he is in there for his glove. And he got all the throws. I was watching Casey Kochman. He comes in. He threw about 8 or 9 straight throws, and the shortstop and second baseman get 2. Let's see if that has a. It didn't get their normal.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. And a 2-ball-1-strike, 3-ball-1-strike count on Andino. Orioles look to get that leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, again, when you have a little speed, and that's what Robert brings to the table, 13 steals last year, you always look at it. Your 9th man is your leadoff guy. You get double back-to-back leadoff guys. You can play that role here.
3-1 delivery. Pistano gets it in there, and the count goes to 3-2.
We thought it might be low, but certainly over the plate, pretty much right down the middle. And it probably was well, our pitch track says it was right on the knees.
3-2.
Don't take another low one.
And Andino goes down swinging. 7 strikeouts Masterson had, and Pistano starts out with a K. Oriole fans, you have the final say. You can vote for Jason Hamill as the final American League All-Star. Go to Orioles.com/final vote and cast your 2012 All-Star Game final vote. And you can send Jason Hamill to the All-Star Game in Kansas City. Voting ends 4 o'clock on Thursday. Voting is unlimited, so you can vote early and often. Here's Brian Roberts. And Roberts takes it inside for a ball. Roberts 0 for 3 in the ball game, 1 for 13 in the series. And a slow roller. Pistano's got time.
And then the big windup from about 25 feet.
Roberts out of there, and there are 2 down.
When I was a kid, I grew up and went to high school in Arizona. I used to watch the Red Sox spring training. Remember Dick Stewart? Called him Dr. Strangeglove.
Dr. Klink.
And then they had Dick Radix, the monster. You know, they're 6'6", and Stewart was a big guy. He caught a ball about 10 feet. Radix did from first base and just heaved it right at Stewart. And he dove out of the way, of course, because he had nothing to do with it.
He was a smart man.
And I'm going, wait a minute. We do drills better than that in high school. And the Red Sox, it was they were a country club team at that time. They weren't particularly good.
No. Frank Malzone at third, Don Budden at short, Pumpsy Green at second base, Dick Stewart at first, and you had Williams, Pearsall, and Jensen. Sammy White was doing the catching. Tommy Brewer, Frank Sullivan were your starters, and they didn't win a lot of games. More coming up sometime. It's the Indians 5 and the Orioles 2. Masson brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup. We enter the ninth inning here at Camden Yards. 5-2 ball game with the Indians on top. Gonzalez, outstanding job. He has given up a couple of hits, striking out 5 and walking 2 since coming on in relief in the 5th inning.
Well, top of the lineup, some of their best hitters. This will be a test.
Sin-Soo Choo popped that one off Ronnie Polino's mask.
Yeah, what I look at is how they're reacting to his stuff. And we've always talked about Earl Weaver and the radar gun and things like that. If you lost your ability to command, lost a couple of miles. So where's the bat head? And they're really not getting to a lot of Gonzalez's pitches, and you can see why. Up and away, down and in, and he hits his spots real well.
And an 0-2 count. 1 earned run or less in all 3 of his appearances this season with the Orioles. Choo trying to keep his hit streak alive. It's at 5 right now, and that pitch up high. This is the only game where the Orioles have found a way to shut him down. He came in hitting .444 over his last dozen games. 3 home runs in the last 12, 8 RBIs in those ball games. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Choo will take it. The other thing Gonzalez has done, I mean, 1, he's kept the Orioles in the ball game. 2, he saved the bullpen. Yeah. And the Orioles got to fly to the West Coast and play again tomorrow night against Seattle. Here's the 2-2 delivery.
And you can see how quick Choo's bat is. That ball was in, and he just turned on it. So you would think, and you react to how they react to your stuff, that the pitch of choice would be the split-fingered fastball here. Just throw it down and away.
Here's the 2-2 delivery, and right back to the mound. One down in the 9th inning. 7 strikeouts today. Veronica, a total of $1,200 from the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the day, play Strike It Rich Scratch Offs. Enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/strikeItRich. One down is Drupal Cabrera. Cabrera singled, 1 for 4 in the game. Perez warming up in the bullpen, the closer for the Indians. They've not had a lot of chances during the month of June, at least, to get to their closer. He's going to go to the All-Star game. Their starters had not pitched well. And the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Or the starters for the Indians, 13th in ERA at 4.61, but Masterson helped lower that today. Giving up the 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 hits over 7 for the Indian starter. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, nice little strike to ball ratio. Last time the Orioles got a starting pitcher or pitcher out of Mexico of any renown was Rodrigo Lopez.
That's going to be in the gap in left center field, and that'll take a hop again off the base of the wall, and that'll be a stand-up double. So Cabrera's got his 2nd hit of the ball game here in the 9th inning. He's on with 1 away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So double digits again. That's 10 hits in the ball game for the Indians. And here is Kipnis.
Yeah, they're one of the better high ball hitting teams I've seen. That was a little breaking ball, and Cabrera just sweet stroked it off the bottom of the wall.
Strike taken. Kipnis a walk. Otherwise 0 for 3 in the game. 3 hits, 15 at bats in this series for Kipnis. Cabrera with 2 hits in the ball game. He's had a 9-hit series. 9 for 21. barrel of the bat goes into the stands. Ball goes into left. Base hit. Cabrera will come around to score. Kipnis has his first hit of the day in an RBI. And a 6-2 Cleveland lead.
Yeah, trying to get that extra inning out of Miguel Gonzalez. Gets a little unlucky right here. Just saws off the bat. Fastball inside part of the plate after the Cabrera double. And they hit him hard. They hit him soft. They've had a great hitting series when you talk about the Indians.
And another RBI for Kipnis in this series. On the season, he's got 47. 4 of those in this series. And the pitch is taken inside. So 6 runs, 11 hits for the Indians. Jack Hanahan gets his first at bat, coming on to play third base. One-zero count on Hanahan, only one away. There goes the runner. Throw down. Paulino's high and away. Kipnis will pick up the stolen base and continues to keep his streak alive as Kipnis up there looking for the lead in stolen bases.
17 out of 17 right here. Head down, doesn't look, straight steal, throw high, and makes it easy.
Kipnis third in the league in stolen bases with 20. Trout of the Angels leads with 22. Leads in about everything else too. Kevin Gregg throwing in the bullpen for the Orioles. Trout has taken over the American League batting lead on July 1. He and Paul Konerko are neck and neck for that. Trout has joined the top 10 in homers. He's got 19. He and Adam Jones tied for 7th in the home run department, and with 53 RBIs, Trumbo is now 6th in the American League in runs batted in. One of the reasons the Angels quickly have re-entered the race in the West.
Did Trumbo make the All-Star team?
Good question.
No, he's there. Yeah,
he's
outfielder.
there.
They have him. He's not playing a whole lot of first base since they broke the bank on Albert Pujols.
Runner on at second base, and Hanahan takes the pitch outside, and the count goes to 3-0. Still only one away here in the 9th inning. Jack Hanahan taking it. He's on. Gonzalez surrenders his 3rd walk, putting runners on at first and second, one away in the 9th. And that will be it for Gonzalez. So Kevin Gregg will come on to do the pitching for the Orioles in the 9th inning. Gonzalez, as Jim said, trying to work the extra inning and maybe a little bit too much here. He gets the pat on the back from the skipper. He'll be responsible for the 2 runners on. Back to the Orioles today. Xavier Avery sent down and immediately put to work for 4 1/3 innings.
Yeah, he pitches really well. Does keep him in the game. Now it's up to Kevin Gregg. So there is Miguel. More comfortable here at the big league level out of Mexico. Gregg will come in. Again, it's just he's made some real good pitches, and when he throws strikes, he could be very effective. Of course, his mission here is just keep it at 6-2. Even though their closer's coming in, you just never know.
Indians looking to take the series 3-1, and their road trip would be 4-6 if they can get it. They're trying to add runs here in the ninth. And that's going to bounce away all the way to the wall, and the runners will move up as Brantley watched that one go by.
Well, I don't know if he missed one earlier, but I think he just crossed him up.
Pass ball, he heads out.
So I think he's thinking breaking ball. He's waiting for it to break, and then we'll get a run back a little bit. And then anytime you see a catcher turn the glove completely over, and he just got handcuffed because I think he was looking slider or cutter. Boy, a lot of little miscues.
Just going to say that, Jim.
I mean, well,
this has been a day where the Orioles have done very little right in terms of the little things that make a difference.
Well, it's been a week, really. Yeah. You know, and started with the Angels, played pretty well against the Nationals, couple of 2-1 wins. Of course, Wieder's home run last Sunday off of Sean Burnett, down 1-0 in the bottom of the 8th. That turned that weekend into a good one. But this week, all phases of the game. And the only reason, well, one of the reasons they won on the 9-8 game is because Cleveland forgot to catch the ball early on when Derek Lee 3 unearned runs early on. The Orioles took advantage of it.
So the intentional pass surrendered after the pass ball, and that will load the bases. 1 down, 9th inning, bases loaded, a run in here in the 9th. And Casey Konchman a double and an RBI, 1 for 3 and a walk in the game. 3 for 15 in the series. There goes another broken bat. Roberts, there's one. Hardy to first. They get the double play. 1 run in on a couple of hits. No errors. 2 are left on base. Bottom of the 9th coming up. 6-2 Indians.
We're coming right back with those extra post-game. Bottom of the 9th coming up. And, Rick, this was a perfect example of a game. It's all about starting pitching. The Indian starter came through. The Orioles didn't. And as a result, it's 6-2 in the 9th.
You know, Brian Mattis has struggled again and over again. You know, today he gave up 2 home runs and 4 doubles, and the amount of hits that he gave up, 7 hits. But we just got to turn things around. You know, maybe the Orioles will get some runs in the 9th here.
And we're coming back to talk about it. For now, back to Gary and Jim.
Jim, Rick, thanks very much. And a 6-2 lead for Cleveland. We'll see if they can get the bats going here. If they're going to do it, it's going to have to be against the Indians closer.
Yeah, and he's going to the All-Star game. Chris Perez last year, 36 saves. This year already 23. Came over from the Cardinals in 2009, Mark DeRosa. And that year he actually went 2 months without giving up a run. 23 saves the next year, 36 last year. So a little controversy when he waited till they got to New York and then said that the fans need to forget about LeBron left. Been over 2 years. Don't worry about the Browns. They're no longer here. Support us. which they haven't done that well, but they certainly used to. Well, I did a World Series in Cleveland where there was enough energy, and they were down 3-1. Enough energy in that ballpark to light up the state of Ohio.
They shouldn't have renamed it. That goes to second base. Kipnis with a nice running play, and Davis is retired, 1 down. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. So far, looks like that. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 31826. Results on the O's Extra post-game show. It's just something about going to the Jake.
Yes. Well,
fun. And plus, the team kind of helped make it that way, I guess. Still, just was the right name for a ballpark.
Well, naming rights.
But not enough money.
Yes, right.
That's right.
Well,
here's Adam Jones.
One thing about this is Camden Yards.
Well, this is Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Yes, but no, what I'm saying, there's no naming rights.
As soon as the right dollar figure comes around, it'll be something park at Camden Yards.
Think so?
Yes.
Okay.
0-1 count. Adam Jones has doubled in a run, reached on an error, and scored.
Yeah.
0-2.
Well, Perez came in the other night. Chris Kane did give up a run. It turned out the Orioles would give up another run, so that extra run, Flaherty with a base hit, made a big difference as they won 9-8. But he was throwing 95 with a nice little breaking ball, which you just saw.
0-2 deliveries outside,
and he's a big guy, big burly guy. Hides the ball well, and then has good stuff, and then makes good pitches, and that's why he gets people out.
And I'm sure on this 100-degree day that beard's going to be really comfortable.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. I suppose that would really hurry you along in getting out.
Well, how about just next time you run into Goose Gossage? He was fearsome looking.
Yes.
And then he also threw 97, 98. So,
which was fearsome.
And turned his back on you. You're going, what is he thinking about when he does that?
You didn't want to know. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Adam Jones. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And Jones will loop that one for a base hit into right field. Chu coming over to get it. Jones has his second hit of the ball game. Orioles with only 1 away, looking to get potential tying run to the plate in this game. Thome coming up. Thome with an 0 for 3 so far in his debut as an Oriole. Jim Thome here in this ballpark. This is the 68th game he's played here. He's had 18 home runs, driven in 45 in this ballpark. He's had a couple of out on Utah Street, 2 of the 65 home runs ever on Utah Street hit by Thome. And he takes the pitch for a ball.
No, he does hit him. Center, left. There are the numbers you were talking about, Gary. Johnny Damon, who's on the bench today for the Indians with 22 home runs lifetime. There's that moving fastball. And I believe he's tied with Sammy Sosa. 609 home runs.
That's the number.
But legitimate home runs.
I will completely agree.
Never any talk other than how far he hits them.
Yes.
He's a big guy. I mean, he's the guy. In fact, he's so big you want him on your team. I mean, even any team. What doesn't matter. Just want him on your team. But the
you play center.
Yeah.
We'll rotate around you. A towering pop-up. Morrison. No room. Jim, 1 of 8 to reach 600 home runs. You see the games played over 2,500. Very strong batting average. 609 homers now. Big slugging percentage and on-base percentage. Last 3 seasons against lefties. When you think about will he play against left-handers, last 3 years, 242, 277 against righties. Certainly a good enough average to be in against many left-handers in his DH job. 2-2 delivery, and Thome cannot hold up on that, and he is gone. So Perez will get the strikeout.
Yeah, again, establish the fastball and then bury the breaking ball. That's what Chris Perez does. See why he's all-star category. I mean, 23 out of 24, so it's pretty much a done deal when you get a lead and bring him in the 9th.
So 2 away, 9th inning. Runner at first. Jones will take second base here. They were not holding. Perez trying to wrap it up for the Indians. Brian Mattis will take the loss. He'll go 5-10. 5 losses in a row for the Orioles starter. Masterson will get his 5th win against 7 losses and be 5-3 lifetime against the Orioles. And the Indians will have come in and really pummeled Oriole pitching, as the Orioles offense scored some runs here in this series, but it was not enough.
Well, still 3 or fewer for 12 out of 15 if they don't come up with a 2-run home run here. So it's not the kind of offense. But again, they're not the big problem. The starting pitching and the defense is the big problem day to day if you're going to play out the season. Got to get it. You got to get it together somehow.
0-2 the count on Wilson Betemit, and Betemit is gone, and the Indians have won. So Perez comes on, gets a couple of strikeouts, works the inning, giving up only 1 hit. The Indians take 3 out of 4 as Cleveland takes this Sunday day game 6-2 the final.